So I've spent a lot of time over the last 5 years tracking down the latest in skimming technology, whether it's targeting ATMs or gas pumps, train ticket kiosks, or movie rental machines. If it's skimmer related, I'm totally hooked. And for me, it's been fascinating to watch the evolution, not only of the criminals themselves, but the sophistication of the technology being bundled into these fraud devices and the increasing organized crime element that is tied to this type of fraud. About 3 months ago, I heard from an ATM installer in Mexico who said he'd been approached by some Eastern European guys who offered them up to $6,000 US dollars a month if they agreed to let these guys have physical access to the inside of the machines. Now, one of the guys in this company actually took the bribe, and he was later fired. But it gave my ATM industry source a way to study the technology that these organized crooks were putting into ATMs. And most importantly, it offered a way to tell just how widespread this particular operation was. That's because the fraudsters in this case would attach two Bluetooth radios and data storage devices inside of each ATM, one to record the PIN and the other to steal the card data. And armed with this technology, the thieves could just stroll by a compromised ATM with a mobile phone and suck down all the stolen card data wirelessly. And the thing would look fine from the outside. But it was this very Bluetooth component that gave this scheme away, because the fraudsters were lazy. They used the same default Bluetooth signal name for each radio. It was called Free to Move. You'll see this quite a bit through the video. So I decided to book a trip to Cancun, where a lot of these devices were showing up. I spent most of my vacation driving around to different hotels and hotspots trying to find those compromised ATMs that were beaconing out this Free to Move signal. But before we go to Mexico, let's take a look at one of the Bluetooth devices that was pulled from an ATM that was compromised by this gang. Okay, what we're looking at here is a normal card acceptance slot pulled from a working ATM. You slide your card into this thing on this end, and it goes into the machine. And this bit in the front is responsible for holding the card and then spitting it back out when the transaction is done. Now, this was taken from a system in which one of these Bluetooth skimmers was installed, actually two of them. And if you just looked at this card reader from the outside, you wouldn't see anything wrong with it, right? But if you unscrewed a bunch of screws, I've already taken those out for this video, and then start unplugging some wires here and flipping it over, you start to get a better sense of what we're talking about here. So this little piece here that you see on the left is the unauthorized Bluetooth component that's wired, or at least was mostly wired before my travels. A lot of them came disconnected. Very, very small Bluetooth antenna and storage on this circuit board, which retails for about $500, which means about $1,000 per hack machine. Having accumulated more than 500,000 frequent flyer miles on my various speaking gigs, I booked a flight to Cancun and checked in at the Marriott Casa Magna Hotel. Little did I know at the time, but the ATM in my own hotel was compromised by this same gang. I'm doing a voiceover here because the audio recording on my GoPro didn't quite pick this up. But I'm sitting here in the lobby of the Marriott Casa Magna Hotel where I was staying and playing with my new phone that I just got from Telcel. It's a crappy little Huawei phone I got for about $100. But it did the job. It did the job that my iPhone couldn't do, which was to detect the two Bluetooth signals that were coming out of the ATM you see over on the left over there. One of the two, it's the one on the left. So what I'm going to do here is turn on Bluetooth on my phone, and you'll see in just a second, not long after I do that, you'll see two Bluetooth signals pop up, both for free to move.